Welcome to my tips for the AFL for round 18. Before we jump into this round, let's have a look at how we did go last round. When it come down to picking the winner, it was a fairly easy round. Closest game was a 59% chance of winning, and we got the 9 out of 9 for the tipping. But when it came to the handicap, we only got one out of the 9, which is pretty shocking. That takes our overall handicap tips to 55 from 119, and our tips on who would win to basically 92 with one draw out of 119 bets. Tips. If we have a look at what we had bets on last round, it was basically 5 games. Looking at it, we made almost 1 unit, 0.98, bringing our profit up to 5.14. There were no value picks and none that met both of them. So let's have a look at round 18 now. Round 18 has again 9 games. It's a full round. So we have Carlton versus Brisbane. We have taken Brisbane at 64%. The predicted margin there is 12 with odds of $1.23. That is pretty much a no bet on the 18 plus. We have got Carlton on the line as it is 26.5. Gold Coast versus Collingwood. Gold Coast do play well at home, but I have gone Collingwood here with a 52% chance of winning. That is such a slim margin of only 2 points. It could go either way. The market agrees. It's $1.82 for Collingwood to win this, with basically 3.5 points in the handicap. So for the handicap, we'll take the Gold Coast. Western Bulldogs versus Adelaide. We have Western Bulldogs 64% chance of winning, 13-point margin. $1.64 is pretty good there. If you compare that to the Brisbane odds there, where we have a very similar predicted margin, I'd much prefer to be on the Western Bulldogs at $1.64 than taking them at $1.23. The handicap is -7.5, so we'll take the Western Bulldogs there to cover that handicap. GWS versus Geelong. We are taking Geelong, 61% chance there of winning, 10 points as the margin. Odds are $1.78. Handicap's 4.5. Geelong should cover that handicap as well. Richmond versus Essendon. We've got Essendon at 64%. Predicted margin 12 points. $1.43 are the odds. We'll take Richmond with the 15.5 head point start. Fremantle versus Hawthorn. I'm going to take Fremantle at home here, only by 3 points, though, so 54% chance of winning. The odds are pretty much $1.90, $1.90. When I looked at it just now, Fremantle has a half a point handicap, so I'm going to take Fremantle based on that. Melbourne versus North Melbourne. We've got Melbourne here, 75% chance of winning, 24-point margin. That is a bet of the 18 plus. We're getting $1.28, which is good, and North Melbourne does get 26.5 points for the handicap, so we'll give them the tip there. St Kilda versus Sydney. I have Sydney as the predicted winner. Again, a very close game at 52%. 2 points on the margin, $1.72 though for Sydney, with St Kilda getting 7.5 head point starts, so we'll take them on the line. And Port Adelaide versus West Coast, we have Port Adelaide at 83%, 35-point predicted margin at $1.12, so very low odds. And we'll take West Coast to cover that margin. Now, given the 18 plus bets, if we look down here for anything that's over 18, we have 2 bets. They will be Melbourne and Port Adelaide at $1.28 and $1.12. And if we were to have a look at those that are value bets, so these are the fair odds here. You can see here the fair odds for Brisbane should have been $1.56, but they are $1.23, so you would not bet that. you want much more for Brisbane in that game. Again, for Collingwood here, you want $1.92, you can only get $1.82, so that would not be a bet. But if we have a look here, we do have 3 games that meet this criteria. We have the Western Bulldogs at $1.64. They should be $1.56 according to my model. We can get Geelong at $1.78 instead of $1.64, which is good. And we can get Fremantle at $1.90 instead of $1.85. Now, it's not much when you start looking at those, but these two look like fairly good value. So they will be our 3 value bets. As I said, we have the 2 18 plus bets. Nothing matches both of them. So that will be our tips and bets for this week. Good luck if you are having a bet. Good luck if you are tipping in any tipping comps. The last 2 rounds I have tipped perfect rounds. This round is so much harder. We've got 2 games there at 52%, one at 54%, and the others in the low 60%, which means they're only winning 2 out of 3 games that they play. So this round will be a lot of interesting, good games to watch. Probably a few upsets here and there. We do look like we have ended up on the favourites again this round. So they are obviously deserved favourites, but with such close percentage chances of winning, it could go either way in a lot of these games. So it will be a very interesting round for the tipping comps. I am still sitting first after 17 rounds, but only by 1 game. So let's see how we go, and hopefully I can extend the lead if some people go upsets here and they don't come off. But it's going to be an interesting round either way. It might be a round where some people that are a little bit further back in the pack might make a charge if they can tip this round perfectly. Okay, gonna leave it there. Thanks for watching. Good luck if you're having a bet, and don't forget to like and subscribe.